Hi, welcome to Wing and Pedal Backyard Studio. And this week we are going to be fixing my beautiful water fountain. It's the very first fountain I ever purchased. I purchased it from Facebook Marketplace back in the pandemic. And as the winter comes and goes, the poor fountain has lots of cracks. And I've really been just using it for a planter. But this year I've decided to try to patch it up, put a little seal around there, and I'm going to try my luck at one of those solar water fountain kits that are pretty cheap that I saw on Amazon. So, hopefully this will be interesting for you. So I went and I purchased some masonry crack filler from your local, Home Depot. And it's pretty simple to use. You just get your caulk gun, remove the little end. I needed to use a knife. It was pretty tough. And then there's a little application on the tip that you can use to help direct the the crack filler when it comes out. So, and definitely wear gloves. You never know what the heck's in there. It's going to do to your hands. And I just went around and I filled up all the cracks that I could see in the cement on the fountain. And it was good to just kind of smooth it in. No one's going to see in there once the top is on and the water is flowing and everything like that. So, and I'm thinking about maybe repainting the outside of it, but I haven't yet decided. So let's first see how this crack repair goes. And here you can see a crack that it was along the base on the outside. And I also filled those in, went around the whole bowl of the fountain and filled in all the cracks best I could. And Mojo, my buddy, was always watching, sitting very close to me. If any of you have dogs like that love to be your shadow, Mojo is definitely one of those for me. So, yep, here I am filling in all of the cracks. So it's the next day, and I have let the fountain sit out overnight. And today's been pretty much a warm day, so I'm pretty confident that the sealer has now cured, and I can start to get ready for the next step. So I grabbed my trusty red wheelbarrow and wiggle myself over. And I'm going to bring the bowl in the barn because in case it rains or, it's just easier to work in there instead of out in the garden. So I'm going to try to not topple it over. And yes, my brain is working. Let me leave that like that. Awesome. Okay, and here I go. Chug, chug, chug. Back to the barn. Through the gate. And Mojo. Always watching. And I've got to show you this really great floor mat, welcome mat that I got during COVID. Of course, everybody bought something crazy. And I hope you like big ass dogs. And I hope that you love my big ass dogs, Mojo and Maisie in the back. So here's the sealer that I got. It's pond sealer. It's non-toxic. There's two parts to it. There's part A and a part B. And you mix those together, 2 parts A, 1 part B. And you spin it around, stir it up with your paintbrush. And then go ahead and apply it. And that epoxy coat will hopefully get in any areas or cracks that I might have missed with the masonry sealer, crack fixer that I used. And this should really seal it right up. So we won't have any leaks after this dries. I thought it would be nice to take a walk through the garden while I wait for the epoxy resin coating to dry and check out how everything's looking in the garden. And it's really beautiful so far this spring. Everything's growing so fast, lush colors. Everything looks so healthy. And there's Maisie. And over here we have I have 2 little dwarf Espana apple trees. And this is one of them. And there are lots of little apples growing in this one. It's going to be very exciting. And we have blueberries next to the apple tree right here. Blueberries. And over here, I have some raspberries. Can't wait for those to emerge. It'll be fun to eat raspberries off the bush. And then cucumbers, onions. Some very beautiful purple clematis. And I'm waiting patiently for the white roses to bloom. The white and the purple looks really beautiful together on that. Yeah. And over here is a ginormous rhubarb. Massive. Yeah. And I have a couple zucchinis, sweet peas, peppers, and a couple tomatoes. And that's a little bit of veg. And here's the second apple tree loaded with apples this year. So can't wait to see how that goes. And there's Maisie. And the sun is trying to come out. And here's the medicine wheel garden. And I built this last year. And all the paths match the directions on the compass, north, south, east, and west. And all of the zinnias and gladiolas and cosmos and whatever else we planted in the very beginning of the spring are really looking great. I hope you can see my video from earlier in the spring when I planted from blossoms, some flower blossoms that I saved and stored over the winter and just crumpled the dried flowers into flower beds, and here we are, more zinnias. So that's really fun to do, and hopefully you're able to check that out. And here's my fountain garden, and see, I used to have lots of perennials in here, and they didn't do well. Some of them didn't do well, some never came back, so I just pulled a lot out this year, and I have lots of zinnias. Poppies and the peonies opened up a few days ago, so hopefully they'll stay with us for a little bit. And I always like to say hello to the witch. And then let's enter the side garden and take a look here. This is my little more formal garden. Mostly all perennials here. And then I add, sometimes I have some bare spots, like there. And I'll find something, some annual to add in there for a little filler. And this is a couple zinnias and mostly, roses, some solar lights that are pretty at night. The gnomes, I'm not sure if they're escaping or coming in. And then I put a mirror in this garden, so it looks nice. And so, yeah. So really, we're at the end of this video, part 1 of the fountain crack repair. And hopefully she's going to get put back together tomorrow. And her friends will be here. So thanks, and check out part 2 when we put the fountain back together. And I hope you like big ass dogs. Thanks.